Hello my friends, it's Traci Penrod back for Bella Boulevard. Today I'm creating a 4th of July page using the My Life 365 papers. I used the July sheet and the Stars and Stripes sheet in addition to some really pretty Bella Besties. What I've done first is I've cut several 2-inch strips, 2 by 12. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting them diagonally. So from the top left corner down to the bottom right corner. I'm using my trimmer to cut these large, longer triangles that are going to be the sunburst pattern on my layout. So I go through and I cut each one of these, again, from the top left corner down to the bottom right corner. And then what I'll do is I will start in the center of an 11.5 by 11.5 piece of white cardstock. I want to make sure that all of the pieces overlap the top. It's more important that they overlap the top than that they match up at the bottom, because we're going to be covering up a portion of the bottom. So I just go and I leave about 1/8 of an inch in between each of my triangles. And I'm just adhering them with a simple tape runner. And I just follow along doing one side and then the other side. I believe that the paper is the one of the Bella Besties is Graph and Dot in a Gulf color. I just love that teal aqua color. And then I also used the Graph and Dot Blueberry, which is that dark blue solid piece you see, although it's not really solid. And then I used the Graph and Stripe piece. So once I've got my entire 11.5 by 11.5 sheet covered, all I need to do is lift up the paper, which you'll see in a second it gets a little stuck because I've got adhesive on the backs of these corners. But I lift it up, turn it over, and I'm going to cut the excess off from around the 11.5 inch square. The size paper probably will not fit in my trimmer, so I use a ruler and a craft knife. I just love the look of these starbursts once you turn the paper back over. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mount that 11.5 inch square on a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. I'm just going to adhere it with my tape runner. And then I love how the white border around the entire piece kind of blends in with the 1/8 inch strips between each pattern. It really gives the whole layout a finished look. I also cut out a 7.5 inch circle to go across the bottom and hold my title and my photo mats. So I trimmed off a bit of the circle and I'm adhering that to the center of the bottom of the starburst pattern. I'm going to add a title, and I have some 2-inch photo mats. I love the look of smaller photos on some pages. I think it gives more interest to a layout or to an actual scrapbook album if you've got larger photos, and then sometimes you have smaller ones. And once I was done adding the mats, I just finished up the page with the embellishments.